It is Monday, September 26th. I think it's around 3 p.m. What is this like? This moment of silence? Like, what does it mean? So again, the purpose of these videos are like just to capture the reality as it is, without any goal or purpose or desire to change it. It's more of a raw documentary of recording for the purpose of meditating about identity, self, mind, intelligence, self and the world. I'm reading Claude Shannon's autobiography, A Mind at Play. It's amazing. And no doubt, if he was alive today, he would be in cryptography, Web3. Because essentially he was the founder of that, of the information age. I was meditating on how he was different from like Norbert Wiener. How Norbert Wiener wrote about cybernetics, and they both kind of are credited with like being founding like the digital age and the information age. But Norbert Wiener was like trained by his father to be like his upbringing was very different versus Claude Shannon's, and I think that reflects in their theories and in their personalities. So I think Norbert Wiener focused on like the feedback cycle of control systems, as that's like how he was trained by his father, as like that was like the feedback cycle of intelligence. He was set goals and like achieved them. That's how his mind worked. Set goals by his teachers, by his dad, versus Claude Shannon, who focused on like the transmission of signals, of encoding, transmission, and decoding of the message. And I think that reflected his kind of upbringing and his kind of life in a small town in Michigan, and where something as common as like some like local some simple local events like a horse being born or something like that made the local newspaper. So it was a very quiet town, and like the local newspaper would just document all these like things that seemed mundane, but like they were kind of important then to that small town. And just like observing just like the world, I see him as being like in tune to the signals of like his inner self, of his personality, his disposition, his like as he put it, like dissatisfactions that like drove him to solve problems, and to want to think about like what is information, how it can be reduced to its most irreducible pieces, which is the bit, the binary digit, the bit, 0 or 1, the Boolean, truth or false. So that's what I was thinking about. And it's interesting that Claude Shannon was like, about Norbert Wiener, said like, oh, I don't think he ever understood what I was talking about. And Claude Shannon was just like infinitely like clear and cool about like who he is and what is important to him and what is interesting to him. And like when he was called up to work for like the precursor of the NSA in like the 50s, like he definitely worked on like setting the foundations for like the surveillance state, which is like a meta thing that is beyond my comprehension and our individual understandings, I believe. And also he just like being like super not seeking out publicity and just being like very measured in everything and just being very like not about just knowing how to properly how not to take too much credit, how not to give too much focus on the theory, on his contributions, and on the theory of information, and on how it can contribute to other fields. So that showed he was just very clear on what is value, what is thinking, what is his contribution. And I thought it was super interesting how he was friends with Ron L. Hubbard, the founder of Scientology. How he once wrote of him as that he's one of the greatest science fiction writers of their time. How so this was in a letter to a friend about him, introducing him. I think it was like Marvin Minsky or something, about Hubbard, about how he has this hypnosis practice. So in that I could sense that there was something that they shared, a view of the world that was just very clear on like who we are as humans and agents, as machines that like pick up signals and transmit signals, as and another segment was like comparing radio to genes. How a radio is the same as an organism's genes. So I see Claude Shannon as a very like a Vitalik Buterin type that was just very clear, very clearly attuned to the signals of the time of the world and of his own internal self, his internal presence, his internal constitution and disposition, and knowing he was able to know how to pilot himself, and he was indeed a pilot. Got his pilot's license. Navigate through the world to discover these mathematical proofs, theorems. And that's it. In closing, I think he's definitely someone to be studied if you are if you're in crypto, if you're in computer science, if you're into technology. This is a person that would be beneficial to understand and know. That's almost 11 minutes. Bye.